Can you guys see me? Why am I not seeing my screen? What's going on? I can't see you guys. Where are you? Let's see. Okay, here I am. You know, I'm backstage trying things. Y'all know this is not my forte. So, welcome, 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 Nerd Herd. It's a pleasure to see you guys again. It's been a minute. I know I have been MIA. I ain't got to tell y'all, ish going on. However, welcome, welcome, Aryeni. Welcome, M. Zambrano. Welcome all. Shout out to our mod, Renee. She is the dopest mod. Shout out to her, always having stuff in check. So, you guys, there are lots of updates going on with this Diddler case. I do not have to tell you. I know you all have eyes to see and ears to hear, especially if you're up in here. But some of the latest updates are that there are 7 new lawsuits. 7. 2 of which contain children. So far, that's 3 children and 13 lawsuits. The ratio is just too much. It's too much. 3 out of the 13 are children. It has to do with the society that we live in and how people choose to pleasure themselves or how people choose to express themselves. Hey, Miss Gemini. Hey, Gemini, a nice automatopoeia. Dope. I love that. It has to do with how people or what people are willing to do behind closed doors. That's what this is about. Who are you when you think no one who's able to judge you is watching? Who are you? Are you the same? Hey, Asheo, greetings to you too. Thank you so much. And you are pretty too, AMB. It's the age old question. Who are you when you think no one is watching? Are you able to now there are 2 different things going on here, secret and private. We're entitled to privacy. We're entitled to privacy. Everything we do doesn't have to be out in the open for everyone to see. However, that stuff that people doing in secret, that's the questionable stuff. That's the stuff that if the powers that be, or anyone for that matter outside of their circle of influence, sees and knows and experiences what they're doing, it's not going to fare so well. And so that is typically why they do the stuff in secret. And it's not necessarily a good thing. What is it that you're doing in secret in your own personal lives that if people were to find out, you would be ostracized, you would be excommunicated from your group, you would catch some hands? You know, that's a beautiful question for us to consider and to a perspective to always consider in our lives. Like I said, privacy is one thing. We're all entitled to privacy. There's nothing wrong with healthy privacy. Have some privacy in your life. I think we live in a generation where people are all too willing to tell everything and put everything out there. Privacy is a different thing, but secrecy, it's those secret nefarious deeds behind closed doors where if people on your job found out, your boss found out, your spouse found out, it would not fare well. Perhaps you should consider maybe not doing those things, especially when they rise to the level of impacting someone else's ability to live trauma-free, to exist without abuse, to have a harmonious existence without being taken advantage of. If your interactions, especially the secret ones with someone, makes them feel taken advantage of, you need to do some self-introspection about what it is that you're doing, because eventually karma, like they say, is a dish served best cold, and Karma is a biatch, and so is her mama. Don't do things that's going to spiral back to you because you might think you're getting away with it now. But here's the deal. Hey, Neek. Oh, thank you. Listen, we love the tattletale. Tattletales is our cousin. Y'all know we all show up at grandma's house. Come on over here. Come on over here and enjoy the ride. And stay a while, kick off your shoes, enjoy your feet. You know how we do. Leave your shoes at the door. But come on. Put on one of them fuzzy socks in the basket at the door. Get up on the couch, relax. Kick your feet up on the ottoman. Enjoy yourself. Thank you. We're happy to have you here. And shout out to our amazing mod, Ariani. Shout out to our mod. Give us some love. She is on the money, doing her thing, making sure everybody's welcome, getting everybody a drink when they enter in. What drinks are you having, ladies? It's lunchtime. Maybe a light cocktail or some, lemonade, things like that. Let us know what your drink is on the way in, and we'll make sure that we accommodate you. First of all, I did a welcome video. I haven't posted it yet, but I'm happy to announce we are a monetized channel. I don't know how to give the round of applause. I got to find all those little things, but let's give a round of applause. The Dopest Nerd channel is monetized, guys. I am so proud of you guys. It's because of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Grand Rising, Wagwan, Hola, Konnichiwa to everybody. Come on in. Without a doubt, shout out to our mods. Give her love, love, love. And get your drink orders together. Get your drink orders together. So, like I said, the updates are the 7 additional lawsuits, also a comment from the children. The children made a comment. I find it kind of interesting and, given there has been a leaked phone call, allegedly. There's a phone call that's supposed to be a leaked phone call from jail. And baby, it does not sound very nice. It sounds like more manipulation. It sounds like more conniving. Thank you guys. It sounds like more slick talk. Be sure to throw your thumbs up when you walk in the room, guys. Let's get the likes up. It is more of the same. So he was speaking to one of the children. If I'm not mistaken, to my best knowledge, he was speaking to Christian. That's the one who looks just like him. According to this call, we are talking about the alleged leaked call. He said, what happened to Jay? You heard from him yet? And the person I'm assuming to be the son says, no, he's ghosting. He's like, yo, what these people on? What they up to? Then he interjects that the other son is complaining about his car payment not being paid, and he wants to know what is he going to do. And he surreptitiously was like, I don't give a F about that. You see what we got going on right here? Then he proceeds, and look, we're all entitled to privacy. When you're on a jail phone, there is no such thing as privacy. So according to the state, according to the law, your jail call is public knowledge. And so that is what we are discussing, the alleged jail call that was supposedly leaked. He then tells the other son, who looks like, so we know what it is. When you have children or you're a child of a family, we know that dynamic. There's always the kid that's going to be like, yes, ma, yes, dad, whatever you say, cheerleader. There's always going to be that middle child or that rebellious child or the child who's just confident enough to speak truth to power. That's going to be like, with all due respect, ma, dad, nah, that's not cool. And then there's going to be the other kid who's just like, okay. He's clearly the kid who's on some, yeah, whatever you say. Because he was like, I told him, yeah, he was agreeing with everything. This is the child that he knows he still has power and control and manipulation over. He was all too amenable to everything. And then here's the irony about speaking in code. Now, especially as the Black family, we got that secret language with our kids. When you're out in the street, you might say such and such, and they might jump to say something, and you kind of be like, huh, what you said? Like, go get the chair. And they like, huh, what chair? What chair? Instead of being able to read that, you're telling them, hush, don't talk right now. Your input is not necessary right now. Let me take care of this. So if you haven't practiced that with your children in advance, You can't spring it on them at the last minute. Trust me, it will always go poorly. They will always blow up your spot because they'll be like, huh? What chair you talking about? No chairs around here. Like, this is not the generation that can read their parents. When we were little, our parents said some weird thing. She didn't even have to practice with us. We knew once we heard a certain tone of voice or whatever, the narrative changed. She said something random. That meant shut up, hold your corner, get out the way. Oh, darling, a mimosa sounds really well. It sounds delish. I think I'll have one too. Get your drink orders for those of you just coming in. Get your drink orders. Let us know. Shout out to our mod, Ariani, and let us know what you're drinking for our little lunch brunch. And so he was, in one hand, disavowing one child and putting his needs off to the side like inconsequential, and praising another child, and having that child, telling that child, make sure you get all the boxes. Make sure you get up and get the list. And he was like, huh? What? Like, totally oblivious, had no clue what he was talking about. Like, I might have figured it out quicker than he did. And I didn't quite figure it out, but I know he was trying to tell him to get something that is still on the premises in some particular place. Could be the mother's house or whatever, but there are some items that are still around. He is asking the child to, in my opinion, to take them and to get rid of them. Now, this is only the work you can do for your rebel child that's on the money and always knows what you can read you, whether they agree or not, but they can read you. That's the one you got to talk to. But I find it incredibly odd and peculiar that the child whose name all of the businesses are in is the one he said, get out of here. I don't care about his problems with his car. Find that to be odd. The one who is amenable and agreeable to everything. Now, mind you, the one he's disavowing is also the one who was accepted to Harvard. He persuaded him to not go to Harvard, but to come and go to UCLA, and then proceeded to go to UCLA and allegedly assault the coach. But I digress. Then there's the other kid who now made the statement, who was caught between two worlds because he was the stepchild, but his biological is still alive. One biological parent, the other biological parent, as we know, has gone on to glory. And ironically, that's the one who made the public statement. If I know family dynamics like I know, it's some trouble brewing. Now, I'm not making fun of anybody's children because I don't believe in that, especially minor children, but we are talking about grown adults. We are all someone's children. We are talking about adults. These is 30 and 30-something year olds. They're not babies. So I found it very peculiar. But needless to say, the reading of the lawsuits, I will do a live later on, and we will read through the additional 7 lawsuits. And for a very vital purpose. So I was watching Tisa. Shout out to Tisa Tells. She is my YouTube god sister. I love her so much. I was watching Tisa read the lawsuits, and I found it quite interesting that in the beginning of the lawsuits, when they were giving background information on previous cases and interactions and run-ins that he had, one of the first things up there was involved in a shooting in a nightclub where a patron got shot. I was like, okay, they're referencing my case? Okay. And it was the first one they referenced out of all of the litany of things that they referenced. I found that to be quite interesting. What they're doing is building a diagram of a history of a pattern of a behavior. And the reason that you would do something like that, especially in a civil case, is because, shout out everybody. Yes, give some love to my girl, Tisa. Everybody say shout out to Tisa Tells. We love her so much. The reason someone would build a pattern of behavior into a civil lawsuit is because the criteria for proving your case in a civil lawsuit is different from the criteria proving your case in a criminal lawsuit or a criminal suit. The preponderance of the evidence is the way you win a civil case. And so preponderance of the evidence is different than the criminal distinction of beyond a shadow of a doubt. Beyond a shadow of a doubt means there cannot be one iota of doubt in order for that person to be deemed guilty. If someone throws a monkey wrench in with something that it's inconsequential, but they throw it in just to create doubt, that can hamper a case where there's a whole ton of evidence, but someone throws this monkey wrench in, and then that creates doubt. Now, civil remedy says beyond a preponderance of evidence. And basically that's if you walk like a duck, talk like a duck, and you're quacking, the likelihood that you're guilty is extremely high. And so therefore you're guilty. The threshold to proving that case, while it still requires proof and things of that nature, the threshold for proving it is based on a history of a pattern of abuse, your propensity to behave in a certain way, and then all of the proof regarding that particular incident. So I'm sure they more than met their case, their burden for their case, not the least of which is because they have backup photos. They have things such as the bottle that the alleged drug of choice that was used to insert into drinks, that the bottle that it was applied with. They have pictures of that. I mean, the mounting evidence is overwhelming. Everyone is still due their day in court, and they have the right to go before a court of their peers and a judge and have their case adjudicated. But if we're doing a preponderance of evidence, I hear ducks quacking and I see feathers everywhere. So on to my next topic. The next topic is the Katt Williams Effect. Oh my goodness. For those of you who are aware, you're aware of the whole Katt Williams Club Shay Shay interview. In the interview, Katt Williams, while he didn't come to start trouble, he came as a response to all the other people in the same comedy landscape as him, or people in that acting and entertainment arena that have been, quote unquote, calling his name, throwing dirt on his name, sabotaging him, attempting to do things. And what he basically came to do is what we all do when we feel ganged up on and attacked. What we do is we sit down and we say, okay, I'm going to cry aloud and spare not. Let me pull people card. So what he was doing was basically answering all of the statements. Each one of these people, a grouping of people over the course of a few years, have been on his back and on his case and coming for him needlessly. But you know what that is? When you are not a part of, it's like in your office. When you come to the job, you're working there, you're doing your thing, you do your work, you go home, you take care of your kids, that's it. But there's a clique in the office. There's a clique in the office. And the boss is pretty moody. Some minutes she's super nice, other minutes she's shady as hell. But there's a clique in the office. And that chick who's the ringleader of the clique and her trusty dusty sidekick who is always co-signing BS, they can't stand an unbothered chick. When you come to work, do what you got to do, always cute, your makeup be right, you smell good, clothes sharp to death, and you just doing you, they cannot stand you. They can't stand you. And so they have to do something to upset the apple cart. They have to mess with you. They have to get your attention. What I tell my daughter and her friends all the time is when somebody's messing with you and coming for you, they want your undivided attention. They can't stand that you are not regarding them. You're disregarding them. You're living your life and you're not thinking about them. That bugs the crap out of an insecure person. It drives them insane. Trust me, I go through it all the time. I am literally just doing me, living my life, not messing with nobody. I got so much on my plate. The dopest nerd got so much on this plate. And trust and believe, there's someone I could walk into a space and when you walk with a presence, when you have a presence and a self-assuredness about yourself and no cockiness and no type of shade, you're literally just a woman who embodies the essence of what it means to have self-esteem, to believe in yourself, to walk with conviction, and to speak with conviction. My speaking with conviction disturbs the crap out of some people. And I'm not putting on, y'all know me by now. This is just how I communicate. But my presence, just I walk into the room, people are like, hey, how's it going? And I'm not afraid to speak to people. I'm not one of the people that's like, I ain't speaking how you speak first. I'll walk up to someone and be like, oh my God, honey, where'd you get that blouse? That is gorgeous, girl. You won the day, honey. You doing it. I'm her. I do that. There are some people, you're right, haters gonna hate, but baby, There are some women and men who are disturbed. I went into a store one time and I was transacting some business. I was buying something, a couple of things for my daughter. And so I said to the young man, "Excuse me, sir. I noticed that the prices on the screen are inconsistent with the prices on the tags I just gave you. Is there something I need to be aware of?" "Oh, you calling me stupid?" I said, "Why, sir? Unique choice of words. I'm not calling you anything. Is that what you feel? Are you feeling stupid right now? Because I simply asked you about the price tags. That's the thing you didn't answer. I'm not trying to be funny. Why is that your response? Oh, you think I'm stupid." I said, "I don't think you're stupid. You think you're stupid. I'm asking about those price tags." Instead of him saying, "Oh, we just put a new system in. It's not going to register the discounts until I press the end," which is a bizarre system for retail. But that's how their system was. This man instantly, "Oh, you talking down to me?" And all. I said, the lady behind me had to say, "Excuse me, sir." She didn't talk down to you at all. I'm sitting here waiting for the question too, because I'm getting ready to shop. The price tag question, what's the answer? He was irate. "Oh, I'm gonna put the white folks on you." This is what he said to me. I said, "Call your manager. I don't have time for this today, because I'm not going to join you in your foolishness." The manager comes over. "What seems to be the problem?" I said, "I'm inquiring with the gentleman. How come the prices on the screen are inconsistent with the price tag?" Instantly, she's like, "Oh, girl, they put a new system in here. I don't know why they put this system in here. You are not the first person to ask this question." I turn around, I say, "Brooklyn?" She like, "Yeah, what part?" I said, "Crown Heights." She like, "Sheepshead Bay." We laughing, hee hollering. He's standing over there to the side, screw faced, like we plotting on him. Now, I understand that I'm from New York, and a lot of people in a lot of regions have history with New Yorkers for whatever reason. I don't know if some New York guys did they drive down I-95 and, came to the town and took your girl and you still mad about it, or, whatever. There's some history there, but there's something about a New York. Well, New Yorkers, we think we don't have an accent, but whatever, the New York accent. And I'm talking, I don't understand the reaction sometimes. Here I am championing someone and they ready to fight me. So as soon as I can feel the energy, as soon as I feel the energy, I diffuse it by saying, "Oh my God, what color lipstick is that you're wearing? That is gorgeous. Is that like from a department store or something? Or is that a specific line?" And then they be so shocked. They have a screw face for me. They be, soon as I hit them with a compliment, they back down a little. They're not so mean anymore. And I think that's what we need to do. We have to disarm people. Yes, mad for no reason. And here's the thing, they might be mad for a reason, but something pertaining to their own life that we have nothing to do with. Basically, we live in a world where people are bleeding onto people who didn't cut them. And that's what it is. We have to ask ourselves, are we bleeding on someone who didn't cut us? And if so, why? Like, let your girl, the dopest nerd, help you get a bandage. I'll help you get a bandage. I got some gauze. We got some peroxide. We're going to clean you up and get it right. But we're not going to bleed on people who haven't cut us. There's too much of that in this world. Hey, love, how you doing? If I don't call your names, it's because I ain't got my readers on. My real readers. So these are my readers, like that I went to and bought. However, you see how these arms look loosey goosey, and they're not staying on my face. I don't know why. They're just acting wonky. So then I have to use these Dollar Tree readers, which just, child, I'm already getting old. They just make me feel like my name is Granny. So I'll stay without the readers, and then I can't really see the words. But Ariani Ahmad is up in here, making sure everybody is welcomed in. Those of you who just joined, make sure you put your drink orders in. Give a shout out to Ahmad Ariani, and make sure you put your drink orders in. We having brunch. It's our little lunch brunch. But you see us in reverse, so I can never tell where to put the hair. Let's see if I can see some of these names. Okay, Maria Rosa or Maria Rose. Charge it to my readers and not my heart. Jocelyn Renee, Nicole Powell, Kiss a Smooch, Neek, of course, the dopest mod, Ariani. Yeah, listen, child, these Dollar Tree readers, baby. Now, what I do is these are the Dollar Tree ones. I have about 900 pairs of these. Some of them got one arm, some got one right arm, others have one left arm because you know the arms are weak. But what they do is make you keep coming back to buy readers. These are actual readers I bought from a vision store. But the arms are doing this weird thing. Like they literally will pop off. I've had to glue the arm back on. It's not breaking the actual joint in the corner, it's just detaching. And so these are nice readers, but child, with this screen flipped, I can't never tell which way to strike my head. These are nice readers, but they're sliding off. Look, it will slide down off my face. I can feel them sliding now. The Katt Williams Effect. Let me get back on task because you know I be talking. Oh, she said she want a water. You know what? I'm gonna have a water too. I'm gonna try to be good. Have a water. Every single one of the people who have in some way attacked, attempted to besmirch, straight out violated, gaslit Katt Williams for years are all catching the wrath. And I think there was something with his Club Shay Shay interview that a lot of people missed. There's a portion of the interview that he uses. Now, it's in the middle of the interview, but he uses it in the entry of when you're coming into the video. He says, this is the other side of Kirk Franklin praying. This is the reckoning 2024. And they laughed. It was a simple chuckle, but it has come to be a scathing indictment on all who have come against him. Literally all of the people, well, almost all of the people he had to mention in that video have caught HE double hockey sticks this year. When I say a dragging, most recently, those of you who are in the Atlanta area or who are just aware, there was an incident that Katt Williams had a few years back at V103 in Atlanta, which was like the main hip hop and R&B radio station here. The host was Frank Ski and Wanda Smith. So Katt didn't really come to the station to promote anything, but you know, when he's doing a concert tour, he takes other comedians on the road with him. He had what's his name? Red Grant with him. Red Grant did he was doing some type of in-station promotion or something to that effect. She says to Katt Williams, who had just won the Academy Award for the episode of Atlanta that he filmed, which was a great episode, no less. He won the Academy Award for that one episode. And so she said, well, you just won the award. You put Atlanta on the map. You know, you putting on for the city. We want you to come in, chit chat, whatever. I'm sure most of you are aware of it. I'm just explaining to give the backstory for those of you who are not aware. She tells him, look, we're not going to discuss any of the legal issues. We're not going to discuss how they come at you. We're not going to discuss any of that. All we're going to talk about is the positive things, you know, the Atlanta episode, the Academy Award. We're proud of you. You're putting on for the city. We want to give you some love. He's like, okay. First he says no, but then Red Grant, he said, I'm not here for that. We're here for Red. Red says, no, go ahead, Katt. So he's like, all right. He comes in. As soon as he gets in, she starts going off on him and trying to insult him. So here's the thing. While I'm sure Wanda Smith is a great person and a great woman, rest in peace. My condolences to your family, especially your children. Listen, she's a part of the infrastructure of Atlanta. She has been for a lot of years. I remember her kids' names, Tavares and Giovanni, I believe. I remember that from growing up. Like she talked about them incessantly when they were little growing up. So I know their names. And I think her husband's name is something like Lamaris or something like that. Like we just know that from hearing her on the radio. She talks about them a lot. And that's no judgment. I'm a mom. Those of you who know me know. You know my kids' names because I'm that mom. Oh, Nirvana this, or Donovan or Devon this. I'm that mom. However, I never particularly found her to be funny. One time, my sister and I went out to I think it was called Rendezvous or something like that. Or the Voo, they changed it to the Voo 1 and the Voo 2. And the Voo 1 was somewhere, I think Cobb Parkway, something like that. But We went to it and she was there. And I promise you, I did not find her to be funny at all. Now there's different types of humor that some people find funny. I'm the type of person that I like humor that makes you think. I like, you know, humor that makes you think. I just like it. I like irreverent humor. I like, you know, I like a little dry humor. I'm not a fan of that wild out laughing and crazy. And she before her punchline is out, she is over forcing the laugh to make you want to laugh. Not that. That's not my thing. I don't knock any comedian or any person for that matter. Their style is their style, but it's just I never found it to be quite entertaining. On the radio show, I thought she, played her role. I found her to be a bit defensive sometimes though on the radio. And it was always like, I gotta prove my point. I gotta prove my point. That becomes old. That gets dry, and even in real life, when you have people that you deal with that are always defensive, it gets dry. And here's the deal. I'm a reformed defensive. There was a time where, because I have the wisdom and the understanding now, I'm older. When I was in my young 20s, when you're chosen by God, there are people around you who will attempt to gaslight you. When you have certain gifts and stuff like that, and they're insecure in your presence, they'll gaslight you. At the time, we didn't have that verbiage. We didn't know what gaslighting was. But we knew that there was this thing that people do when they're trying to ride your back. And so that's what I was going through. There were people gaslighting me. So not being one to take that ish, I would call people out. I mean, it is what it is. I'll call you to the mat. Like, you're not going to sneak this me. Let's have a discussion. People don't like that. People are afraid of confrontation. And being confrontational doesn't mean it's negative. It just means you are willing to have the conversation now rather than to defer it or talk to this one and have, I'm not going to do no he say, she say. I'm going to call you out now. Let's discuss this now. If you come to me with tea about somebody else, I'm going to be like, have you had that discussion with her? Come on, let's go have that discussion with her since you want to talk about it with the crew. That's me. Some people are afraid of that. People don't want confrontation. They like mess. They like gossip. They do not like confrontation because they want to be able to throw a rock and hide their hand. I'm not doing that. If I see you throw a rock, I'm going to go get your rock, bring it back to you and like, come on. I know this rock is for so-and-so. Let's go. Or I'm going to step to so-and-so and be like, you need to go have a conversation with so-and-so. That's me. I'm not interjecting myself in. I'm not telling you what it is. I'm just speaking truth to power. We're not doing no he say, she say. So I found her to be very defensive. She was always on some, well, I'm not doing, and it was very, to me, in my opinion, competitive with some of the women that came up there or slick talking. Like, I just didn't particularly care for it. However, or if somebody she thought that she could get over with and slick talk, then she would do it. But that notwithstanding, I am fully aware that a lot of that is rooted in low self-esteem. I hate that she passed away, but she is another person. I mean, listen, her passing away, we know God is the architect of all things. He's the Alpha and Omega. Everything comes from and by God. However, I can't say that it's lost on me that of all the years that her perishing comes now. After this was brought up. Now, I will say that I felt a way prior to her passing. I noticed that with all this upswing of all this stuff and Katt Williams in the blogosphere, they started bringing the case up again. And I had seen where somebody made a thumbnail and they made her face with this kind of grotesque, distorted head and a picture of Katt Williams looking far nicer. And it got a lot of views. And I was like, oh my God, like that can't make her feel good. Mind you, had no idea the woman was sick, didn't know that she was going to pass. I think I thought it's probably like 2 weeks before she passed away. 2 weeks I saw it and I was like, ooh, that doesn't paint her in a nice light. I just didn't think the thumbnail was flattering. But literally every person that he had to check has had to have a reckoning with themselves and the Most High. The man said clearly, I don't have to compete with them. None of them have ever had anything I've ever wanted. He literally said in no uncertain terms, and we in the culture know, he said, I won't even punk fake like I want something they got because I don't. He said, He's like, well, you want people to be on your side? He said, no. Is God's side or the other side? I think that is, here we are with relatively 2.5 months left to this year, and there are still a few more names on his list. I think it would be dubious for us in our own lives to check ourselves and make sure what side we on. Some of us may think we on God's side, but suffice it to say, some people I've interacted with, and I'm always checking myself, present company included, I'm always self-introspection. How did I show up in that situation? Could you have said that nicer? Yeah. I'm always checking myself. However, oh yeah, those chuckles, oh baby, I don't trust those chuckles either. Don't trust them. But I try to be very self-introspective. I'm constantly scrutinizing my own conduct. How am I showing up? How am I presenting? How did that person take it? Oh, without a doubt, it's God's side. God's side. And people, I don't necessarily experience that from people. I see some people doing the same thing. And it makes me question, like, what is the level of reasoning or rationalization they have in their existence? What are they doing? What's good with them? What's good with them? Guys, I want you to join the membership if you decide. Join our membership. We have 3 levels right now. Join in, become a member of the Nerd Herd family. You subscribers, but go ahead and join. Make sure you like, share, comment, interact with us. Let us know. Tell me what you want to hear me talk about, what kind of videos you're interested in. What are your opinions on this Katt Williams effect? Do you think it's real or it's not? Is it the Katt Williams effect or is it the God effect? Because that man proclaimed, it's God's side or the other side. Yeah, listen, we got to check ourselves. In the immortal words of Ice Cube, check yourself or you wreck yourself. Because a whole lot of things is bad for your health. We need to check ourselves. Are we acting according in that manner? Are we as adults checking ourselves and really just evaluating how we're showing up in spaces? How are we showing up in spaces? How are you showing up with your family? How are you showing up with your colleagues? How are you showing up with your kids? How are you showing up with God? Let's keep it a buck out here. Very funky. A lot of us are spiritual hypocrites. I know a lot of spiritual hypocrites, baby. Could quote scriptures to the day is long and don't conduct themselves like nobody's type of Christian or spiritual or whatever you want to say. We are spiritual hypocrites. We deal with God in a transactional way. We want to treat God like an ATM. What have you sown into the kingdom? How are you showing up and paying your spiritual tithes? In what way? Do you help others? When you got a little extra, are you kind? Do you see someone? Have you been in a supermarket and seen a mother like literally taking almost everything out of her car, putting on us how we can't get that, and the kids kind of like, oh, I wanted that. And do you ever just say, hey sis, can I be a blessing to the kids, and just put a $20 bill, $50 bill, whatever in her hand? How do you? Because you'll go and give it to all these retail organizations that could care less about you and will not do anything for you. How are you paying what God has done for you forward? How are you showing up? Are we really showing up in the world as, have you guys heard of all the craziness that's been going on lately? As far as in DC, I think it was Minnesota, DC, I believe Ohio, Pennsylvania, and some international places where there is a comment about supposed to be what they've changed their names to UAP now, or UFOs in the sky. And whether or not they are alien or United States made, who knows? But there are unidentified flying objects in the sky. They change them to UAP so that they can control the narrative. That's this whole thing that I noticed they do too now. Everything has new acronyms, which is real bizarre. But it's a method to control the narrative. If you look up UFO, you're going to see tons of things about UFO. So if you look up UAPs, now you may not see as many, because now that's the new acronym that's taken over UFOs. Have you guys been watching the channels I told you? I am QHEF. Have you been watching Perky or Right 7X or Dre OG. Oh, in Raleigh? Was it in Raleigh too? Okay. Oh, absolutely. Listen, shout out to Neek. We got to be able to drop a emoji. Put some praying hands in the chat. Neek said it's definitely God coming through, moving some furniture around this year. Always got to check ourselves and stand in truth. Let's throw some praying hands, or the praying hands like this up in the chat, because baby, now that is the statement of the day. That is where it's at. God is moving some furniture around. And if you're not living right, God is going to move you around. You said yesterday was the deadline for the feds to disclose everything they have on UFOs. Wow. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And what did they say? Does anybody know what they said? Did they disclose everything? Because you know the feds, they'll hit you with an IOU with a quickness. I'm going to start doing something too, where we're going to have member only lives, and I'm going to start bringing you guys on to speak. You can come in on the channel and speak. I'm going to drop the link. If you want to come up and talk, you come up and talk, say what you got to say. I was not aware of that. And I try to keep my ear to the streets. Oh, so that was their deadline, but they haven't exposed it. Okay. Well, let me tell you something. There was a video. If you look, greetings, Uniquely Ray. Oh, good. I'm so happy to have you, girl. Listen, at the Dopest Nerd, come on in, take your shoes off at the door, get a pair of fuzzy socks out of the basket by the door, kick your feet up, relax, put your feet on the ottoman, stay a while. Put your drink order in. We got the Dopest mod, Ariani, taking drink orders. Put your drink order up. Let me know what you're sipping on. And we just asked a question, or we just read a statement. Neek said that we talked about what's going on in the world with the reckoning and the Katt Williams effect and all of that. And Neek made the statement of the day. Statement of the day was, that's God showing up, moving some furniture around. Absolutely. Join the Dopest Nerd and become a member. The membership starts at $3.99. Show your girls some love. I want to be able to start getting some people on. I have a list I'm building for interviews that I want to get some people on. And boy, oh boy, when you see the interviews, I truly believe I'm going to have access to these people. I'm going to speak it into existence. The Most High always shows up for me. We're going to do a collective prayer. And let me tell you something. I promise you, I'm going to bring you guys thought-provoking, insightful conversations. We're going to turn this channel into a full podcast. We bring in the folks. We're bringing the folks. We have some people that we want to have step up to the front of the room and have a conversation with. We have some questions we want to ask. And not in a confrontational manner. Some of them are thought-provoking questions, information that we need. Ayani just told us that yesterday was the deadline for the feds to divulge all the information they know about the UFOs. They've changed the acronym to UAPs to try to unidentified aerial phenomenon, to be able to try to change the narrative. Anytime you see someone modulate the name of a thing, the thing hasn't changed. The thing is still a thing, but they've modulated the name. That is to control the narrative. That means there is so much information out there about this thing. They want to now control the narrative by changing the name. There's another person I know who does that, changes their name all the time. Anytime they do something wrong, some type of chaos is connected to their name. Somebody possibly, in my opinion, suffered a trauma or perished, they changed their name. I'm so stable. I didn't have the same cell phone number. And I know when I tell this to people, people are always shocked. Nirvana 17, I had the same number since she was 2. The same phone number. Like I don't change like that. I'm stable. I'm concrete. Crazy. A water and some popcorn. I'll take a little popcorn too. Who got the popcorn? Pass it around. Nostradamus predicted 2025 is when we meet aliens. Wow. And listen, because we have always been taught that time is linear. We have always been taught that, like you go on summer vacation, you come back, they say, make a timeline. and tell us what you did for your summer vacation. And we make this straight line and like, I did this, 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 this. And no, we've learned now that time is cyclical. Time is circular. It is not a straight line. So multiple dimensions of time exist simultaneously. While we are in our present, what we know to be the past is somewhere existing in another dimension right now. And what we know to be the future is somewhere existing in another dimension right now. It is my sincere belief that we walk through dimensions. And I think that is the reason why we have disagreements with people, because we shift through dimensions so seamlessly. The more elevated you become in your existence, the more elevated you become. KRS-One did some sort of town hall recently, and he talked about the spirit and the flesh, and that the spirit is your internal voice, and that the soul is the external voice attached to the flesh, but the spirit is that internal voice. When you become so locked in with your internal voice, your spirit that is infinite, that is when you master the self. I've been speaking with my spirit voice for so long. In fact, I tell y'all all the time, I say, this is my, I'm the spirit woman, but the flesh, she's still hanging around with me. And God ain't done working on that flesh yet. But my spirit voice is so loud and resolute. And I always speak with her and from her. She's loud and resolute, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I want that for more people. I truly, truly do. It's a whole different concrete permanence. The spirit is the self that continues to exist. When the flesh dies, when the flesh is annihilated, the spirit will continue to go on to another realm. And I think the reason we have misunderstandings is because time is cyclical and circular, and all three time periods exist simultaneously, and we seamlessly go in and out. We live in a dimensional plane. There are other dimensions taking place right now, other us's in other time dimensions right now. And the reason that we have fallouts with people is because sometimes we'll be like, well, Lisa said such and such. The last time we was here, Lisa said such and such and such. And Lisa will be like, what? No, I didn't. And everybody be like, girl, you said it. I heard you. I heard you say it. I was here. And she'd be like, what are y'all talking about? I did not say that. It is my sincere belief that the Lisa who said it was another dimensional Lisa. And the Lisa who's here now she shifted from another incarnation of herself. And that's why she's like, y'all crazy. I never said that. Because guess what? Perhaps she didn't. I know it sounds very avant-garde, but consider it. Consider it, if you will, for a second. Open up your mind and your perspective to the possibility that that may be a fact. Because you ever have situations where a bunch of people have the same collective memory, and the one person, somebody else or two other people be like, that is not how that happened. And they swear before God that that's not how it happened. And y'all looking at them like they crazy or they lying. They're not lying. They could have shifted to another dimension, and the incarnation of themselves that you're interacting with was not there for that conversation. And they think y'all crazy, you think they crazy. It's so weird. But I'm telling you, there are things taken. If we can even conceive of the fact that there are UAPs or UFOs in existence, trust and believe there's so much more the government has not told us. There is so much more. There is a book called what is the full name of the book? It's like The Travelings of Baron Trump. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, if you've heard of it before. You need to watch those channels. For the people who just came in, that did anyone catch the news about the Abercrombie CMO? No. What happened with the Abercrombie CEO? Fill us in. What's going on with the Abercrombie CEO? Yep, same number since 98. You go, girl. My mom had the same number since 96. Same number. That is super dope. Indeed, indeed. We are absolutely day ones. Thank you. I appreciate you admiring my strength. Thank you so much. I meet a lot of people in the street, and people have been quite pleasant. Let me see. What? Child, you see what? Listen, the Katt Williams effect. He said we are in a time of truth. What's happening is, I don't know if you guys are aware of dimensional planes. We are in the age of Aquarius right now. The age of Aquarius represents truth. We are entering the age of Gemini soon. The age of Gemini represents communication. I'm a Gemini. It makes total sense. It makes total sense. I've interacted with people, they're like, you the great communicator. I'm not afraid to have communication and conversations. I'm not a shrinking violet. I'm not afraid to speak up. I'm not afraid to interject. Listen, I've had bosses that come in and rule with an iron fist, blah, 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 blah. And I'll say, excuse me, with all due respect, I disagree. First and foremost, this is in direct contract to what you said. Hey, shout out to Maria Rosa, a newest member. Hey, you might be the first member. Everybody throw up that fist for her. Shout out. Woo, 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 woo. I feel so pleased. Thank you for joining our membership. Thank you, baby. Okay, I will re-upload the last interview with Tisa Tells when I had on the Royal Blue. Okay, I'll have to look into that and find out. Absolutely. Thank you, Roberta. It doesn't give any sound? Wow. Thank you for becoming the first member. I got to get you a gift, Maria. Shout out for the first official member. For those of you who just came in, our channel is officially monetized. So happy, so proud of you. Let's everybody give her a round of applause. You're the first member. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. My God. So what she was saying is the CEO of Abercrombie is on the same type of Diddler timing. Yo, we're in the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is about truth and the uncovering of cloaked things and clandestine things and nefarious things. It's all the veil is being ripped off of everything. And this is exactly what we're watching. This is why Babylon is burning down. Babylon being Hollywood and the Hollywood world and mentality and this type of debaucherous kind of, we do anything we want, unruly debaucherous. They have their way with the innocent and things like that, in my opinion. And let me just say, for YouTube purposes, this is for entertainment. And hey, AMB, shout out to our second member. Listen, let me tell y'all something I do all the time. If I'm at a family event, if I'm at anything, I give, do y'all remember He-Man and She-Ra? And She-Ra used to go, I always give off a tribal call. That's my joint. If you're anywhere and you hear that, look around. Eb is here. Hey, Auntie Leah. Hey, Imelda, Louise, Roberta, Nisha, Gordon, Kiss a Smooch, the dopest mod, Ariani. Shout out to everybody. Love, 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 love. I love how our community is growing. We are going to do, I made a video to welcome everybody and to let them know that we're monetized. I haven't put it up yet. I just made it a little while ago. Denisha Scott, hey, drive carefully, sis. But we're here with you. Welcome to the Dopest Nerd family. The rules we have are, when you come in, take your shoes off, leave them at the door. You know, grandmama don't play that. Leave your shoes at the door. We got a box by the door with some fuzzy socks. Grab some fuzzy socks, put them on for your comfort. Come in, put your feet up, stay a while. You're home. You're a part of the family. Come in, relax, enjoy yourself, interact with us, converse with us, comment, all of that. Ariani, direct her. She says she doesn't see the option to join. And Ariani's taking drink orders. Put your drink order in. Be sure to tell a friend, throw up the likes. Oh, this family is growing. It's so cool. What we going to do? We got to get matching pajamas or something for the holidays, y'all. That's right. Anybody with any sense better take advantage of this time and get right with the Lord. Hey, hey, hey. Asheo. Get right with the Heavenly Father. Get right with your family members. If you are holding a grudge with a family member, first of all, I'm not a grudge holder at all. At all. If you are holding a grudge with a family member, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Matter of fact, you know, when we mean business, let me put on the business glasses. You know when we mean business up in the Dopers Nerd, because now you're talking to me. Now you're talking to me. It's time for us to get right. Get right with ourselves, get right with our family, get right with the ones we love. We got to get right. There's no more half stepping. We don't have time. We can't afford to waste time. There's no time to be wasted. Get right with your children. I literally know people that say stuff like, oh, I don't talk to my daughter. I don't talk to my son. I'm like, are you crazy? What planet are you from? Like, I can't even really kick it with people that say things like that. I find them to be peculiar. Somebody came out of your loins or your womb and you don't talk to them. Baby, oftentimes when parents have an issue with their kids, that issue is that your kids know you to be spiritual hypocrites and fake Christians and fake whatever. Listen, we could put on a front when we go outside, but trust me, you cannot front with your children. They know who you are. You can say, do as I say, not as I do. Now you've grown. You can say that all day long, but guess what you cannot say? I didn't do that. They be watching. Our kids watch everything. It took for my daughter to tell me that I told y'all, those of y'all who know, these are not prescription glasses. These are just stunners. All of these are non-prescription glasses. I have been a glasses wearer, baby. When I tell you, I will drive off and spin back and come back and get a pair of glasses. I don't even need them. My daughter had to sit me down and say, boo, those are your security blankets. You wear them as a security blanket. I'm like, nonsense. What are you talking about? She's like, mommy, you do. You don't need them. And she's like, I'm like, what? I was like, that's absurd. And then I started thinking, and I'm like, because I got shot in my nose, this is my security blanket. It's almost like a protection for my face. I did not realize it. It took my 17-year-old child. But you know, the Bible says out of the mouths of babes, honey, the children gonna tell you. A lot of times people mad at their kids is because their kids be telling the truth to them. Your kids is the only ones who will tell you the whole truth if you're willing to listen. See, because you can hide yourself from the world. Outside, you can hide yourself from mama and them and your cousins and all that. You could be somebody outside. They think you one way and you're a total different way in the house. Let me see. It does make total sense. I had to sit down and I had to thank her for it. I had to thank her for it. She's 17. Look at out of the mouths of babes. They have so much wisdom for us. We just got to listen. Well, what happens all too often with our culture is we be like, stay in a child's place. God told you out of the mouths of babes. So you can't tell a child to stay in their place. Their place is wherever God has them to be. A lot of times we don't want to listen to the wisdom because we feel like I'm grown. I know better. Not always. It makes total sense. Yeah. It is a beautiful thing. She says she doesn't see the option. I think it's at the bottom of the screen. It's like a little dollar bill with a dollar sign in it, I think, right where you're about to comment. It's at the very bottom of it, I believe. That's right. Yahuwah left me alive for such a time as this, baby. Indeed, indeed. And let me tell you something. I appreciate you because I am his witness. Baby, when I tell you I speak truth, it drives people insane, even family members. I don't know how to do anything else. It's how he made me. I can't help it. I can't help it. You keep your sunglasses on inside. Listen, there was a song about that. I wear my sunglasses at night so I can spy on my girlfriend. Very old school. I think it was, I forget who it was. Something with red in the name or something like that. It's super old. Thank you, Moroso. Thank you. This generation is the one who's showing us which strengths. You know what it is? Indeed. Now, first of all, Kiss Us Mooch, that is 100% right. And here's what I attribute it to. I think all of our generations had the ability to speak truth to power. We were not allowed to. This generation is speaking about their feelings and their emotions. You know, when we was younger, it was like, you ain't got no damn emotions. Go in there, emotion my dishes. That's how we were treated. This generation is willing to speak against all odds. And I praise them for that. I do. Now, do some of them get out of hand? Mm-hmm. But for the most part, I praise them for that. Use your voice. God gave it to you. God gave it to you. Indeed. Listen, baby, that warrior call. If you are out in public and you hear that, I guarantee you I'm somewhere in the building. I do that everywhere. I was at my niece. Listen, my niece got married last week. I was at first. Let me give a shout out to my niece and my new nephew. My niece Imani and my new nephew. Uh, look at that, Jordan. They are the Bradleys. Shout out to them. I'm so proud of them. They've been together for a long time. They met at Georgia State. I'm super duper proud of them. I'm just, what an amazing wedding. What an amazing, it was so intentional. Everything. My niece is, for the young generation, my niece is the one who, like as Caribbeans, we have something called a susu. So a lot of cultures have it. It's a savings plan. And a susu, I used to take my mother's money to the susu lady when I was little. She was across the street, down the block. I used to take that money, wrap it up in a paper, stick it in my waist, and walk like, and go to the susu lady and take my mother's money because I didn't want nobody to even think I had that money on me and try to snatch it. But the susu is a savings. It's a Caribbean savings thing, and what it is. Oh, you remember that song from the 80s? Yes, ma'am. That is definitely from the 80s. Yes, and they told us children should be seen and not heard, and that's not true. That's right. That's right. Opinions, satire, allege, and for entertainment purposes. So, see what I told you about the dopest mod? Woo! Shout out to the dopest mod. Always on point. But yes. No, I'm Trinidadian. Shout out to Auntie Leah. She found that button. Woo! And no, I don't have do they have a limit on YouTube membership? No. Oh, well, I think if you look on your, yes, I know about the Tutsis and the Hutus. I do. Yes, I do. But listen, here's the joke. You know what? You just hit something, Roberta. You just hit something. So I have a fixation on Ghana. I've always felt like Ghana was in my spirit. Something about Ghana. But Nigerians always say that I'm Nigerian. Nigerians will meet me and say, "Oh, you my people. Oh, I know you. You my people." And they always say, what do they say I am? It's slipping my mind now. It just slipped my mind just because it came. But the Nigerians always say I'm Nigerian. They say, "No, you look like my people. I know you. I know you." And I'll be like, I have this in my spirit. I've always had an affinity for Ghana. I mean, I love Nigeria too, but I have an affinity for Ghana. But I hear it all the time. Perhaps the button is on, if you look on your desktop, you may be able to find it. What you say, you got some Jamaican in you? Me too, girl. I keep telling people I was Jamaican for about 20 years. My husband is Jamaican, God rest his soul, and I hung out with the Jamaicans. I was so Jamaican back in the days. There are people that I grew up with that think I'm Jamaican, and I'll be like, "No, I'm Trinity." They're like, "Stop lying. I know you all your life. You're Jamaican." I'm like, "I'm Trinidadian." And they're like, "No, you're Jamaican." And I'm trying to tell them, like, no, I was just immersed in Jamaican culture. My husband was Jamaican, and it resonated in my spirit. Perhaps I was Jamaican in another life. And I just saw a post recently where they translated the Bible into Jamaican patois. Baby, this girl made a video of it. Hilarious. You gotta look it up. Look up the Bible Jamaican patois. You're going to gag. So funny. If our mod can find it, we'll put it in the chat. Oh, thank you for the super sticker, Auntie Leah. Thank you. Okay, we'll put it on the main page. And yes, we are Hebrews. That's right. Even if we're from Trinity. Indeed. Listen, more Hebrew than you know. The name Netanya is a city in Israel. It is the number one city in Israel, and it means of God. My mother can't even explain where she got this name from. She has no idea where she got the name Netanya. I ask her all the time, like, where did you get the name? I had a teacher in the 5th grade that used to tell me, you have your own city. You should go to Israel and see your city. You'll be the queen. And she would say that to me all the time. Thank you for the super sticker, Maria. I feel the love, guys. And I appreciate you so much. And she literally would say that. And then years ago, when I used to be the front office manager of a hotel, some guys came in from Israel. They were traveling, and we had a suite hotel. And they were like, "Oh my God, you have a beautiful city. Have you ever been to Netanya?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't know." Well, I knew it was a city, but I said, "No, I haven't been there." And they were like, "You need to go." He's like, "Is that your birth name?" I'm like, "It's my birth name." "Where did your mother get that?" I said, "I don't know." I start asking my mother. She's like, "Child, I don't know." And my name means of God, gift of God. Um, learn our spiritual roots, not talking about African spirituality. Oh, absolutely. I absolutely am familiar with us being Hebrew. Indeed. Asheo. I'm certainly familiar. And trust me, no part of me rejects any of that. Trust and believe. No part of me. Welcome, George Cervantes. Your name means soul? Beautiful. Yep. My name means of God. It's like the current prime minister. His name is Netanyahu. It's Netanya with Yahoo ended to the end. What does everybody's name mean? Your name means rebirth. Beautiful. Oh, listen, honey, we are his folks. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Thank you. I appreciate it, Rosie Rose. Welcome in, girl. Take off your shoes at the door. Kick your feet up. Grab a pair of fuzzy socks out of the basket. Put them on. Relax. List your drink choices. The dopest mod, Ariani, is taking drink choices, drink selections. Let us know what you're drinking. And tell us what your name means. You become a member, Crystal. Ariani, can you direct her? There is, when you're at the comment screen, at the bottom of the comment screen where you're going to make a comment, right in the very right corner, there should be a little dollar bill with a dollar sign on it. And I think if you tap that, it'll give you the options to join. And welcome to the family. Okay. Yahoo is the shortened English form of his name. Okay, beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love my name. I appreciate you. You're welcome. Thank you so much. You guys are dope. Look at our little family. We gotta plan a family reunion, the Dopest Nerd family reunion. And for the members, one of the things that I'm gonna exclusive member benefits is I'm going to send you guys out shirts. So I know eventually I'm going to be sending out lots of shirts, but I'm going to send you shirts. You're welcome. You're welcome indeed, Crystal. Drink orders. What you drinking on? Don't be mad, Auntie Leah. You're going to find it. You're going to find it. Don't be mad. Let me tell you something. The world is indeed, Nicole, victory of the people. That's right. Let me tell you something. Oh, you bought popcorn? Let me have a little popcorn. Let me tell you something about popcorn. I had to just tell Nirvana yesterday too. I have taken to, there is something called Cretors. Cretors. It is a blue bag and it has caramel and cheese, cheddar popcorn, a mix. I don't do sweets. When I tell you this thing has become oh my goodness, it is like, it's a comfort blanket for me. I had to stop. I had to tell Nirvana yesterday, I was like, I can't eat it anymore. I feel like I'm overdosing on it. And it is just way too much caramel, way too much. Like they put more caramel than the cheese in the bag for some reason, I guess because they're heavier, more fall in. But the delicious savory and sweet mix is so, but I got to lay off because the pounds is piling on and I'm trying to lose some weight. Although my son and my daughter-in-law are married already, they're doing their big wedding next year in the beginning of the year. The whole family is anticipating it is going to be a bash of bashes. And baby, mama the bride, I'm trying to get slunk down because I feel like I look a little thickisha. And ain't nothing wrong with being thicky shit. It's just, that's grown woman fluff. But I want to be a little slimmer, especially since, all my babies will be flying the coop. Nirvana I don't even know what to do. I am about to be an empty nester. I don't know what to do. It doesn't resonate with my spirit. Perhaps the Most High, I'm asking you, I receive you, Most High, come into this space and give me something to do. Well, perhaps this is what the Most High brought me, the Dopest Nerd channel, my family. Because I promise you, without you guys, I would be losing my, my blank. I don't know what I'm going to do as an empty nester. This is just going to be new to me. I've been mothering forever and a day, and I absolutely love it. I have a granddaughter, and I spend so much time. This weekend, me and my daughter was together. My granddaughter was together. She was hanging out with her grandma baby. I call her grandma baby, and she calls me grandma baby. That's our names. And oh my goodness, I feel so honored to be called grandma. I love it. I love it. My grandmother was a phenomenal grandmother, and I love being a grandmother. She taught me how to be a phenomenal grandmother. And it is just, if you think loving your children is amazing, wait till you are a grandparent. Oh my goodness. When I tell you, me and my granddaughter was doing concerts this weekend, because first of all, she is a vocalist. I mean, an accomplished vocalist, has done so many recitals already. She can sing her bananas off. She was out singing me. We were singing Girls Just Want to Have Fun. My girl was hitting them. Oh, Daddy, did you not the fortune? I was like, okay, then. Okay. Out singing her grandmother. She is talented. We had so much fun. Yeah, the Cretors, they're so good. But I have to lay off of them because I am gaining weight off of eating this popcorn. Chicago mix from Garrett's Popcorn. Oh, in Chicago? Can I order it online? Do they sell it online? I need to check that out. I don't like all popcorns now, because I remember back in 1983, it was the 100th anniversary of the Statue of Liberty in New York. I'm from New York. So it was the 100th anniversary, the Statue of Liberty Centennial. And oh my goodness, they had all these vendors out. It was just Statue of Liberty themed events everywhere. And I remember my mother took me and my friends, and we all went to Brooklyn Bridge Park, I think, or something like that. It was around Brooklyn Bridge Park. It was in down there in Brooklyn Heights. And they had all these Montague Street and all these streets down there, festivals, and this guy was selling multicolored popcorn. So you know what we do as kids, that old dumb stuff that our kids do. Oh, I like that. That's my favorite. My mother said, your favorite? You ain't never had it. Oh, no, I like it. I like it. She was like, listen here now, if I buy this. So it was some egregiously overpriced stuff, because it was the Statue of Liberty Centennial. You know, everybody price gouges for a theme. So I was just like, yeah, I want that. It was all these colors, and I just love colorful things. I really do. Oh my God. When I tell you, I was gagging. That popcorn was disgusting. Disgusting. My mother was like, I see that face. I see that face. You're going to eat every kernel. When I tell you, I probably ain't eat popcorn from then till now. I was traumatized. You wasn't wasting her popcorn. She said, you're going to eat it. I know you didn't like it. About your favorite. You never had it. How is it your favorite? She said, but it's going to be your favorite today. My mother made me eat all that popcorn, baby. I was trying to give it away to people. People's like, no. I said, oh, Lord, I'll never make that mistake again. And then we grow up and our kids do the same thing. I like that. No, they don't want it. My daughter did that with, you know, those little cookies. What are they called? It's slipping my mind. They usually come in colors, and they have the little trim of it sticking out. It's like a top cookie and a bottom cookie, and they come in colors. They're pink. I don't know why the name of it is slipping my head. I guess I'm having a senior moment. But my daughter did this whole, oh, I love those. I was like, look, sucker, I done been down this road. You never had Mommy, I had it before. I love those. I was like, what is this alarm going off? You see your girl be keeping, I don't know what this alarm, oh, okay. How odd for an alarm to be going off, and I don't even see the alarm. When you don't see the alarm, that's the Lord. Okay, it just popped up. And my daughter did that to me. Does anybody know the cookies I'm talking about? I cannot remember the name of them. They're fancy schmancy cookies. And they, if you know the malls in the Atlanta area, they have a little kiosk in one of the malls that just serves, it's slipping my mind. I'm going to ask Nirvana and tell y'all what it is the next time. Boy, she insisted, and they were expensive. It was like 7 cookies in a rainbow of a gradient of colors, and I bought them for her, and they were super expensive. She took 2 bites and was like, and I said, I see the thing in the 2 days later in the fridge. I said, why are these cookies in the fridge? I was like, you're going to eat these cookies. She was like, Mommy, no. I'm like, you asked for them. You're going to eat them. By the grace of God, one of her friends came over, her best friend. They're in the kitchen. Her friend says, oh, you have these? These are my favorite. The friend sat there and gobbled them down. Nirvana looked like, she was like this. I said, you too lucky, honey. God was shining on you because you was going to eat them cookies. She was going to eat every one of them. I don't know why I can't remember the name of them. Macarons. Yes, that's what they are. Go Gemini. That's exactly what they are. And Ariane, yes, it was macarons. She insisted that they were her favorite. I said, I ain't never bought you these. So favorite from where? Boy, she would, oh, Mommy, please. I've had them before. Where? Where was I again? Mommy, please, I just want them. I want them. I said, okay. I knew she was not going to eat them cookies, but I played the game with her like we do as parents. I played the game. She was so, and her best friend actually loves them. So that saved her that time. That's what I look at y'all coming through for the girl. Because, honey, I could not think of it for anything. Yeah, I got to try that. Chicago has always been a town I've wanted to come to. My grandmother, she wanted to go see Oprah like in her final years, and then she had to have a surgery, and it took so long for her to heal that she could not travel, and then Oprah's show ended it. I was so devastated that this woman couldn't go see Oprah. She wanted to go see Oprah. And after that, I never really had a reason to come to Chicago. I realized Chicago is very much like New York. It's very New York. Once I've seen, like, I think what introduced me to that was, I think it was Black Ink Chicago or something like, or Black Ink, maybe the original. And then I was like, wait a minute, these look like the streets of New York. This look like Harlem. And then I said, wow, okay, Chicago is very, very much like New York, at least that part of Chicago. That's right. You guys, I want you to start, those of you who are new here or haven't heard me say this before, I watch some YouTube creators. They are called, the dopest mod, Ariane is putting them in the chat. Right 7X, Dre _OG, Perky, and my favorite, I Am QHef. I think Dre OG and I Am QHef are rivals. I first discovered Dre OG, but I Am QHef is dope. He actually posted one of my videos, part of one of my videos, and discussed it on his own. And when I saw it, I was like, my daughter was like, oh, wow, Mommy, look how you've been watching this guy's channel since he started. And he's sitting here talking about you as we're watching him. And I just reached out to him, and oh, you met Oprah. Okay. Well, listen, it seemed, I hope she make it through the Katt Williams Effect, because baby, I'm saying the veil is being torn down. And I'm so glad that my grandmother has gone on to rest, onto glory, and she's not here to see Oprah go through this, because, baby, she thought Oprah was the best thing since sliced bread, and that Oprah should darn near be the mayor or the president or something. So I'm sorry that, I'm glad that she's not here to see, because I hear that I Am QHef. So no accent on the E, and then QUEHEFF. And when I tell you, they are talented. So what they do is they show, it's titled a host of things, but typically this type of video is considered the conspiracy theory videos. However, for those of you who do not know, the term conspiracy theory was created by the Central Intelligence Agency, aka the Alphabet Boys, aka the CIA, to throw off mainstream society from believing outliers or outcriers or whistleblowers who understood that other world or other things were happening that the mainstream society wasn't privy to, and to throw them off from believing them or from causing dissent in the society where they couldn't control the masses, they came up with the term conspiracy theory. So do not disavow conspiracy theories. Two things can be true at a time. You can call something a conspiracy theory and it can be 100% true. There was an older gentleman recently who was walking through the streets of DC. It was early morning. He decided, in the middle of the night, he decided to go take a walk. I think it was him and another person. And when he was walking through, he says, "What's going on up here? Look at all these cops out here. I've never seen this before. It looks like they're waiting for something. Something is about to happen." He walked through the crowd. The cops were just chit-chatting with each other, totally oblivious to the man. But he was like, "Yo, what is going on? Something is about to happen." You know what happened later on that night, like 3:28 in the morning? Report of a UAP or UFO crash. And literally, there are videos. You'll be able to see it on those channels. There are videos going to open your mind. Prepare to pull the veil down and open your mind to a world of possibilities you didn't even know existed. You are going to see them there. Don't mind that they're called conspiracy theories. Open your mind to the possibility of these things. You are going to get a lesson that you won't imagine. And tell them the dopest nerd sent you. Give them some love. Follow them. I want you guys to get this information and understand what's happening in this world. Mainstream society, if you're waiting for it to be told on the mainstream even news, Eyewitness News, Channel 7, Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel whatever, the joke is on you. You will never see it there. You will never see the news that you want. In fact, detach yourself from that news, because also Project Paperclip was a CIA created thing where they infused the mainstream news with CIA agents and FBI agents. Everybody that you see, some of your most well-known news people on network news and all of that, they're agents. And it is a disinformation plot to control what it is that mainstream society believes. The biggest thing they want is control, because guess what? There are not enough police, fire, emergency, military, nothing to control them. We outnumber them. If you put all the armed forces, all the military, all the police, all everything together, the mainstream society still outnumbers them. And so in order to maintain control, they control what you know. They send you propaganda by way of the news or media or whatever they want to be able to control your mind so that you never rage against the machine or against the system. We have to get out of that. You have to prep. You have to be prepared for what is coming. It's not the olden days where they said, "Oh, someday, blah, blah, blah." Someday is today. Someday is today. So you have got to open your mind and your third eye at alternative perspectives that are happening right now in this world that you're probably woefully unprepared and unaware of. Also, you need to follow Toxic But True Reality. He is amazing. He knows a lot. He is amazing. This is a whole other world I want to open your mind to. And I'm telling you, the channels, the videos are dope. See, I got to put my snooze on. I got to go get your girl in a little while. Today's her early day. Yes, Project Mockingbird. Indeed. My bad. Project Mockingbird. Paperclip was with the Germans. Project Mockingbird, they put the media into the news organizations. Please don't sleep what you're being fed from mainstream society and mainstream news and those type of platforms is propagandized control mechanisms. They have weaponized the news against you. So there is a series I would like for you guys to watch. It's either Netflix or Prime. It's called Under the Dome. There's all this talk about the firmament. Those of you who are aware of the firmament, or those of you who are not aware of the firmament, we always have the discussions here. Do you think the earth is round or flat? Listen, do not believe the hype. They are breaking all of the myths of how this earth could possibly be round. It is not. We live on a flat plane. If nothing else, one of the oldest written things that we have is the Bible, and it says the four corners of the earth with a firmament on top. There is no corners on a circle. On a sphere doesn't contain corners. That's because we live on a flat plane. When you're in a plane, or when you're watching planes in, somebody's on a plane videotaping, you never see an arc. It is always straightaway. Or on a waterway, a long bridge, you never see the water doesn't curve. You don't see the bridge curve. It is a straightaway. So start looking at, break the mold, break all that you think you know, deprogram yourself from everything you were taught, and reprogram yourself for the possibilities that all those things are going to be disproven. All those things. They have fed us a bunch of mashugana forever and a day. And I promise you, once you free your mind, oh, it's so beautiful on this side. It's so beautiful on this side. Get out of that box. They have programmed us into foolery. Please break free. That's right. The news is systematically created to control you. There's always some terror warning. Terror warning level red. Beware of da 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 da. They're always going to fill your head to the premise is to keep you always afraid, to keep you always suspecting something is going to happen. And every time you're afraid, you act differently. Oh, they do. They fund movies too. You are 100% right. But I want y'all to watch Under the Dome. It's an old series from like 2000. I think it's either 2003 or 2013, 2011, something like that. Baby, Under the Dome is not to be played with. And you are going to see you're going to be like, oh my God. Absolutely watch that movie. Check it out. Watch those YouTube creators I told you about. Listen to what they have to say. Absolutely. Absolutely. The four corners of the earth. It says from the four corners of the earth under a firmament. We can't break through the firmament. All this shit they tell you, they go to space and they went to this and X rocket went to space. They're liars. They ain't been on no moon either. If you watch those same creators that I told you about, you will see that people now, because of the growth of technology and our ability to hone in on old school movies and videos and the supposed moon landing. Do you know someone was able to spread the video of the moon landing? There is a fly sitting on one of the things, and you can see tin foil, and there's a fly sitting on the thing. Now, you're going to tell me you think a fly can survive on the moon? Don't believe how they were in a soundstage. That moon landing was a movie that was made for the government by Stanley Kubrick, the same producer that made Eyes Wide Shut. He made The Shining, and a few other things. Stanley Kubrick. They say in The Shining, he put a bunch of Easter eggs to prove the moon landing thing, like the room number on the door that the kid goes into and all that. All of these little Easter eggs are in the movie. They didn't go to no moon. Don't believe the hype. They went to the moon in 60 something, where the technology that exists today was come on, they had cell phone the first. They gave y'all a live transmission from the moon. Oh, what satellite? You think you watched a moon landing live? Listen, do not believe the hype that they have been telling you. They've been gassing us, telling us foolishness. Trust and believe. They have not been out of this sphere. The firmament covers the flat plane earth, and they have not broken through. Now, what I will say is, on the other side of the ice wall at Antarctica, there are lots of other worlds and civilizations. Lots. Look at some of the old maps. Watch those creators I told you. Dre _OG, I am QHEF, Right 7X, Perky. you are going to learn a whole different thing. I love you guys. I got to go pick up your girl. You know, I'm a trusty, dusty mommy Uber. Oh, the Most High is always on time. Always on time. Indeed. And the flag was straight. Listen, there's so much footage where you can see Stanley Kubrick with a magnifying glass looking at one of what's supposed to be an astronaut footprint. There's footage remember, there's a picture of the astronauts on the surface of the moon with all their helmets off. Who took the picture? And how are you on the moon surface with your helmet off? These pictures exist. Old people are starting to now, I guess it's now that they've gotten older, they don't want to leave the earth and go on to the Most High without telling their truth. And so they're putting these images out that they've kept under lock and key for 50 years. They're putting the images out. And then Buzz Aldrin and some of the other ones, they're telling. They said it didn't happen. There's a video of him. He said, the young lady at college said, what was the scariest part of it? He said that it didn't happen. So understand, we did not land. In the 60s, we didn't have technology. They landed and gave a live telecast. And then we say, why haven't we gone back? They say, oh, we accidentally destroyed all of the technology that you do. What? Child, that's worse than the page turning to your teacher standing over your shoulder. You're like, is this my homework? No, hold on. Is this? No, that's not my homework. This is not my homework. Child. And they called a landline from what? I mean, foolishness. Thank you. But we didn't know because we were innocent souls trusting what we were being told. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're absolutely welcome, George. I am going to come back on live later on. We are going to read, I know other channels have read it, but we are going to read the lawsuit with the 7 new victims. 2 of them are A-Minors. Whew. And we're going to just talk about, we're going to do a kitchen sink thing. We're going to talk about everything and anything. Any questions y'all have, get your questions together. I will be back on, if I'm not mistaken, 7 o'clock, I think, while you cooking dinner, preparing, let me know what y'all cooking and all of that. Maybe 7:30. I think that's a good time. Let you guys get home, settled in a little, acclimated, and then we could jump on. But and Kubrick admitted it. That's right. He admitted it. There is a video of him admitting because he knew he was dying and he didn't want that on his conscience. He said it was his greatest work and he never got credit for it. And not that he wants to have credit, because he said he feels ashamed that he misled the American public and the world in such a way. And the United States government hired him to do it. So, but I will see you guys 7:30. Shout out to the dopest mod. Woo, dopest mod. She on top of everything. And baby, when I tell you she came up with some great things for you guys, we're going to start to implement. So I will see you guys then. That's right. Yahuwah has a closed system. And listen, you hear things about inner earth. Inner earth. There is inner earth. It's not just the surface that we live on. You're going to hear more things. Look at those content creators I told you about. Learn all of these things that mainstream society won't tell you. You'll never see it on mainstream society. Indeed. That's right. Oh, the Barron Trump book. I'll tell you guys about more about it later. This is why there is this whole group of alternative, alt-right kind of thinkers that think that Trump is supposed to be the last president, But I'll bring on the author's name, this, that, the other, and tell you about this Barron Trump book. And Trump's son's name is Barron Trump, and Nikola Tesla, the original Nikola Tesla that created all this quantum physics and stuff that we know. When he died, he had 80-something trunks with him. And upon his death, he was staying in a hotel, 80-something trunks. When the coroners and everybody came, there were only 60 trunks left. 23 trunks of his personal writings and letters and scientific theory was stolen. And guess who was the head of the FBI at the time? Or I don't know if it was the FBI, but some governing body, Donald Trump's uncle. So there may be something else going on here, especially with you see all the Simpsons predictions and that he would become president, all this stuff. There's something coming, but I'm going to definitely tell y'all when we get back on the air. We have been lied to. Deprogram yourself from everything we are thinking. Indeed, Roberta, everything that you think you know, Be willing to break that down, program yourself so you can be reprogrammed with the truth. I will see you guys later. I thank you guys for being on here. Love you so much. Family, like, share, subscribe, throw up the likes. Whenever we come in the room, throw up the likes instantly, because what it does is it tells the algorithm that we pop in and it sends the video to more people. Throw up the likes, share it. Everybody tell 2-3 people and share it on your pages, and let's get more people in this room so they can hear this truth and come up with ideas. That's right. Trump's uncle was the one that took Nikola Tesla's 23 additional trunks of all of his scientific theories. And there's a whole thing. I'll tell you guys later. Absolutely. We will be back on later, guys. Love you. See you soon. Going to pick up our trusty dusty show producer and thumbnail maker, Nirvana. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later on. See you 7 Eastern. And everybody join the membership, subscribe, all that good stuff.